of that individual which showed us how to become a father, which showed us through his example that what humanity can reach in patience and sacrifice. You individuals who today are taking the humanity to the lowest of the low, you who are finishing the human nature of patience, of tolerance, you who are trying to finish the fairness inside of the nature of human beings, this message is for all of the tyrants and oppressors of the world. You can try and try and try and try, but the humanity that every single one of you and us have it, one day it is going to come out, and it is going to come out from the mourning and commemoration of the martyrdom of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. All the individuals who are oppressing, the individuals who are killing the little children, the individuals who are killing women, the individuals who are killing those individuals who are not from the same creed or faith. The message of Imam Hussain ﷺ tells us that if you are of a different religion, let that religion be. There is no compulsion in religion. Anyone who wants to choose a faith, it is their faith to choose. It is not up to a person to oppress the individual or to let that person's life to go to waste just because they do not believe in the Creator that you and I believe in. The message of Daesh and ISIS and ISL and all of those individuals who are creating the Islamophobic environment and creating the fear of humanity, not of Islam, but the fear of humanity inside of the hearts. The message of Imam Hussain tells you, you oppress, you go and oppress, you do what you want to do, but the humanity, the nature of humanity is going to see the real picture of you. The individuals who are creating that environment, we are here to protest against injustice, unfairness, and everything that is against the nature of human beings. If we do not do that, if we as human beings do not stand today, our humanity is falling. We are going to fall as one, or we're going to stand as one. The individuals you see on the street here, they're not terrorists. They're not the one creating the fear inside of your hearts. They're here mourning. They're here crying. They're here remembering the sacrifice of an oppressed being. They're here to commemorate the martyrdom of someone whose neck was cut and put on a spear. They're here to show their support for justice. They are standing against the unfairness that happened 1400 years ago. They're here to tell the individuals who do not know that children in Karbala were slapped. The necks of men were cut. A 6-month baby who was thirsty for 3 days. You don't need to be a Muslim or a Shia or a Sunni to hear that a 6-month child who was thirsty for 3 days, his neck was cut by an arrow that was made for the necks of animals. If my message reaches to anyone who calls themselves a mother, bring your heart. Let go of your mind, let go of the skin color of that child or the faith of that child. Bring your heart. When you hear that a 6-month baby's neck was cut and the blood started accumulating in the hands of a father, bring the hearts of the fathers, bring the hearts of the brothers. Injustice all around the world. Innocent people being shot, being killed, necks taken off. In the name of what? In the name of Islam? No. It's in the name of their own lowly desires and self-vested interests. How to bring peace and fairness in the world? Learn from Karbala. We who stand here, the ones who hit their chest, the sisters who cried, the sisters who are the symbol of Islam today. The sisters who are going to walk on the streets, while people look at their hijab, their Islamic dress, they're going to know that this is a symbol of Islam walking. And the ones who are bigoted, the ones who want to show their bigotry, they will have the verbal abuses for you. They will have those eyes that are filled with hatred and Islamophobic clouds. You need to stand firm. You need to hold on to your dignity and nobility. You need to learn from the example of Bibi Zainab Salaam Alaiha. She was walked in the streets while her hands were tied, while her chadar was taken away from her. She was made a prisoner. She had to walk among those people who were there to celebrate. She had to look at those eyes that were filled with hatred. She had to look at those faces that were smiling on the sacrifice of her brother. That they were having a celebration on the cutting of the necks of the grandson of the Holy Prophet. My sisters, take strength from Bibi Zainab. You're going to need it. My brothers, you need to stand firm in your conviction as Imam Hussain stood firm. Because your faith is going to be challenged. Your humanity is going to be challenged. If you look like a Muslim, you're going to be challenged. Today is a war of ideology. Today it does not matter where you're from. Today it is a war of ideology. Which ideology do you have? If you have the ideology of Imam Hussain ﷺ, then be ready for sacrifices. If you have the call of Imam Hussain in your heart, answer it with your actions. Do not let this environment put you down. Do not let the eyes of those individuals who have the clouds of Islamophobia to let you down. If somebody gives you a verbal abuse, listen to it. Do not abuse them verbally. The abuses that Imam Sajjad got. Think about those. People verbally abused him. People threw stones at him. People threw fire at him. People put him in shackles. People hit him on his back. He had to walk bare feet in humility, in shame, to watch the daughters of the prophets made prisoners with heads on spears. But he did not show any verbal abuse to the enemies. If somebody physically abuses you, stand firm in your defense. Do not let go of your strength. Defense is the right of every human being. If you see unfairness done to you, do not sit down, stand. We are going to be challenged. Today we are being challenged. Tomorrow we're going to be challenged. We were challenged in the past, and the followers of Imam Hussain always met any challenge that the world brought. Today you and I have the task to be able to live your life that way, that when I stand in front of Imam Hussain, what condition am I going to be in? Would I be able to look him in the eye? This coffin, the coffin that I am carrying today, that does not have the body of Imam Hussain, but we are doing this to show our support and love on that day when there was nobody to lift his body. When his body was trampled by horses. You want to know the hardship that a human being can go through? Look at towards Karbala. What did he do after all of those hardships? He stood firm in his faith. This is a representation of faith that a person can achieve in this world. That a faith can achieve that place where the Creator says, I am pleased with you. That when he stands in front of the Creator says, come back to me, that you have gotten that place where I am pleased with you and you are pleased with me. Today we stand in that place which is filled with the worldly glamour. Imam Hussain can show us that all of this worldly glamour is nothing. That day will come when you have to face your actions, you have to face your fate, you have to face what you have done in this world, regardless of where you are on the earth. Remember that one day you have to go back to your Creator. We are all from Him, and to Him is our return. Any Christian, any Hindu, any Sikh, anyone who can hear my voice, I'm talking to you now not like a Christian, not like a Hindu, not like a Sikh, not anyone, not Christian, not Jews. We have to unite with each other in humanity. We have to unite each other in humanity, in the emotions that you and I have. If somebody abuses me verbally, I will be upset. If somebody abuses you verbally, you will be upset. If somebody comes outside of your church, walks around with guns, you will be scared. You will feel insecure. Just like that, if somebody walks around with guns outside of a mosque, this is exact same feelings those people are going through. We as human beings feel the same pain. We as human beings feel the same happiness. Our religion was there to enhance our humanity. That as human beings we can deal with each other with fairness. Just because of a few, let's not lose our humanity. Remember the message of Imam Hussain, become the representatives of that message. And all of this Daesh and all these other people, they existed 1400 years ago as well. 1400 years ago, people like them, the same principles, they cut the necks of the best of the creation. 1400 years ago, they slapped on the face of a little girl. Just know her story. She was the sister of that 6-month child. She had to walk the streets as a prisoner. That night, in a prison cell, a little girl is thinking about her father. Her father whose cut, severed neck, head was on the spear. Imagine your daughter. Imagine your daughter sitting in a prison cell all alone thinking, and she sees her father saying, "My daughter, you're going to come back to me soon." This daughter starts shouting, "My father, my father, my father, I'm going to go see my father." Now just imagine this daughter to be yours, and she's given the severed head of yours, while the mother is watching. My little daughter is holding the severed head of my husband. And this severed head she's talking to. She's saying, "They slapped me, they took my earrings, they made me a prisoner." And her heart is beating fast. Her heart is beating that fast that it stops. The severed head of her father falls on the ground as the little daughter lies there in the cell of the prison. While now the brother has to bury that daughter. If you're a human being and you heard that, you should have tears in your eyes or your heart should break. Do not look at us with those glasses of Islamophobia, of prejudice. Look at us as human beings, for God's sake. We're all human beings. The skin color doesn't matter, the condition of the heart doesn't matter. We're all human beings. For the sake of humanity, let's save our humanity. Let's be the ambassadors of the message of Imam Hussain. Let's show the world that we have conviction and faith